6 rings, some Team Jordans for somebody, anything, they don't love you.
They don't love me.
Nah, fuck no. I can guarantee it.
I wear them all the time. I've worn them around you all the time.
I know, but like, I never realized somebody bought that for you. I thought you just bought it for yourself. But the fact that you got that as a gift, bro, they don't love you. I swear to God, bro. Like, I be seeing these couples and shit like on IG, and then like you see them, and then they open up the box and it'd be a 6 ring, and they'd be like, "Oh, these are so fire." To who?
And so if somebody buys you a pair of mids or 6 rings, okay, that's there's no excusing that. There's no excusing that. You bought that, you don't love that person. If anything, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Mids.
I leaving them.
It's tough for me because there's a handful of silhouettes of mids that are just like, okay, but I'm gonna stand by the ones that I have. Also, I beat those ones to absolute shit.
Yeah, so you want a Jordan mid? So that's your favorite sneaker?
No, that's not how that works. You can't just say that it's my favorite sneaker.
But you're probably the only person that I know in my circle that like likes a mid.
That's okay. You know for a fact that I'm different when it comes to shoes.
Yeah, but not that different. That's crazy. That's wild though, boy. I ain't gonna lie, that's one of the most wildest things you ever said.
Oh my God,
you ain't that different. That's almost like saying your favorite. That's almost like saying my favorite juice. My favorite flavor of juice is tomato juice. You ain't that different. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I don't think I've ever met a single person that's favorite juice is tomato juice. If
Shit,
I do,
I
don't think I'm gonna associate with them.
I ain't never seen nobody that said that like mids like that.
Oh my God,
that's crazy.
All right, we're all good to go.
That's how we should have started off the episode, right?
Oh, it's recording right now.
Oh, okay.
This is 100% live now.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, because that is the most. Yeah, don't start off the episode with that shit today, man. This ain't the episode for that.
Nah.
Yeah, that boy's about, well, welcome back, everybody.
Nah, shit's a little different now.
Yeah, go ahead. Do your little intro, though.
I don't know. Yeah, so this is a lot less of an introduction, I guess.
Yeah.
But, this is Moments with me. I'm Daniel Valencia. This is... How do you want to introduce yourself? You
DC
choose one
motherfucking Supreme,
there
man.
It is.
DC Supreme, DC, whatever you want to call me, man. I'm pretty known. Everybody like knows me for real. You agree?
Yeah, strangely, because you know how many times that I've just been like with either random people or like people that I've hung out with, and through like a friend or like a one-off time or a friend of a friend, you always end up being in some kind of conversation.
Yeah, because like, you know, I don't really stress about being known on social media. I stress about being known in real life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like I know a lot of people, man. It'd be cool, I guess. I don't know. It comes with the territory.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like, this is a whole year and a half later from my last episode, if people don't recall. And I felt like that last episode, I just wasn't myself.
It was it was a different time, a different vibe, a different headspace.
Yeah.
I mean, a year and a half is a long fucking time.
Yes, it is.
It is a long time.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I feel like this episode, man, everybody's going to get that raw, authentic shit that everybody wanted the last episode.
I think that's going to be a lot of fun, too.
It's a lot of fun.
I think there's going to be a lot of editing as well if need be.
But that shit, there might be a lot, man. You might hear me start talking about some goddamn shit, then it just cuts to something else. Like, oh, this one female, oh, yeah, your favorite food. So what's your favorite food? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how we going for on this one, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. I don't even, like, I can't even remember the last time that I recorded and put something out.
Yeah.
So this is all still fresh in my head, or at least fresh for me. And so we're on the same page.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So what's been going on, my boy?
I feel like there's just been a lot that's been going on in my life. And then watching you and your life, like, there's just been... I think a year and a half ago, if we were to ask each other where the fuck we'd be at right now, I don't think we'd have the answer.
Nah, I don't think so either. I really think that like everything that's happened in my life a year and a half later, man, it's honestly been a blessing.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't gonna even lie to you, bro. I could never imagine my life would be like it is right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I want to give a shout out to my motherfucking self for working so goddamn hard. I feel like Conor McGregor right now. For real. Because, man, you know how it is, man. Hard work, man. Hey, I'm sure you know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? Hard work, man. You got to thank yourself sometimes. And I want to thank myself. Shit.
No, I feel like I don't know. The last little bit of time has been a lot of just been like thinking about that exact topic of, okay, like, I got to thank myself. You got to give yourself flowers for the shit that you do. Because at the end of the day, you know, what does it say? It's like, it's a cold world out there. Nobody's going to give you a sweater.
Yeah, it's a cold world out there. Ain't nobody going to make you a sweater or give you a sweater.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's been focusing on that. I really understand that's like, I am that motherfucker. Like
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
you gotta act like that, man. If you don't believe in yourself, who's gonna believe in you? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Shit, man, it's your dream. It ain't nobody else's dream when you're trying to accomplish something, right? So fuck everybody else, man. Shit, I saw an interview with Dolph, and he said, I just feel like I work better by myself, and that's how I feel like me personally too, bro. I feel like if I just cut everybody out and just work by myself, I feel like I accomplish a whole lot motherfucking more. He wasn't lying about that shit.
That's been like the focus of a lot of stuff. Because I know for a fact I've cut a lot of people out of my life recently.
Yeah.
Like a good chunk of people. I also unfollowed a bunch of people on Instagram.
For real?
And I'm sure there's a lot of people that probably saw that and were just like, oh, this guy's an asshole or whatever. I'm like, okay, if that's what you think of me, I could care less.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm just like, I don't need to see a lot of the shit that's happening. I need to focus on myself.
Yeah.
And if you notice, you go through it, it's like everybody on there is either family, close friends, or like a couple businesses that I would like to keep a close eye on because I should.
Yeah, trying to keep an eye out for you.
But besides that, it's like, I'm just trying to keep my circle as tight as possible. And the people that I let in to understand the same thing. That's why, when it comes to certain things, I had to cut ties to make sure that I'm set up right.
I already know what you're talking about. We ain't gonna talk about that on this episode, but I'm saying, no, bro, I feel the same way. I think my circle got a whole lot smaller. You know what I'm saying? Like a year and a half ago, bro, I felt like everybody was just trying to tap into my life. And I'm like, man. And then, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was asking me, how you do this? How you do that? How you do? Like, I ain't trying to hear that shit no more, man. Like, if you ain't figured it out a year and a half later, you ain't gonna ever figure it out. Now, I'm not saying that ain't possible, but goddamn, bro. There's no secret to the success, man. Just work hard and, you know what I'm saying? Believe in yourself and bet on yourself. And that's how you get to where you want to be at. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing special to this shit, man. There's a shortcut. We all would take it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to $1 million just as fast as everybody else is too. So shit, man, there's a shortcut. Let me know. For everybody listening to this motherfucker, if you know that way, shit, let me know. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's something that I've always appreciated about you, though, is that being in the space that I'm in, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, let's make it together. Like, let's do this as a team. Let's do all this other stuff. But the problem with that is there's also a lot of people that are in that group that are like, oh, if I hang out with these people, then I'm going to make it because I'm with them.
Yeah.
And that I can expect something to happen simply because I'm around these people that might be motivated or doing shit.
Yeah.
And that's never been the case with us.
Nah, hell no.
I've looked you in the eyes and be like, you have to fucking work harder.
Yeah, and I told you the same shit.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're both perfect shit. I feel like we both work hard in our own respective spaces, you know what I mean? And I think that's what makes us a good team, bro. It's like, shit, we respect each other's hustle. We understand. I think we appreciate the process. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't. They only have an end goal. You know what I mean? And what happens when you reach that stupid end goal? You stop. I don't have an end goal, bro. Life is evolving every single day. You know what I mean? Like, I can't change the past. I can only change the future. So that's the only thing I look forward to now. You know what I mean? Is the future. Like, if I step forward, there ain't no way I can take that step back and step backward and say, oh yeah, let me rewind my life. You know what I mean? So yeah, I ain't trying to do that shit no more, bro. If you notice on my page, shit, man, you don't see nothing about fitness no more. Yeah, I'm like trying to X that shit out, bro, because that's what I became known for, and I don't want to become known for that bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't nobody special. Like, what the fuck? Everybody's, what's your diet like? I don't know. I just ate a piece of cake before I got to this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So
I had a spicy McChicken on the way here. Like.
Yeah, we ain't perfect shit, man. We fucking shit. We cheating all that shit. Like, come on, man. Enjoy life. I think that's the most thing I learned in the last year and a half is enjoy life. Because there was a time when I wasn't enjoying life and I was killing myself and everything. I still do kill myself to reach certain more goals and everything, but it ain't as serious as it was before. I'm not gonna put myself at risk no more. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm moving smarter, and I think a lot of people is. You know what I'm saying? And that just goes to show you like how much maturity went over from that year and a half ago. You know what I mean? And come on, man, a lot of shit has changed, bro. Like, sheesh, I don't even want to think about that shit sometimes. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'm in a better space though, as far as everything's concerned and everything. And yeah, I think I found everything I need to like accomplish right now. Like, I just have my laser focus on that shit, and I ain't trying to veer off of that, you know what I'm saying? Steer off of that shit, you know what I mean?
It's like I was talking to somebody yesterday after I came back from watching a basketball game, and
light the beam, you know what I'm saying?
I'll be a Sacramento Kings fan till the day I die. I don't give a fuck about what anybody says about that.
Yeah, I'm a Bulls fan. I like the
Bulls. I was like, you can say their ass, but you can also catch these hands. Like, that's all right. Yeah. But I remember, I forgot how we got to the conversation, but I pretty much just said that, no, I feel like this is the first time in my life where I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And I'm not focused on being somewhere else or someone else or doing something else.
Yeah.
It's like being actually in that process and understanding that it's like, no, I'm supposed to be right here.
Yeah.
Everything that I've done for the past 10 years has led me to this moment. And if I'm not happy with it, that's my fucking fault.
Hell yeah.
And then everything in the future, if I have dreams and goals, like, I have to do shit now to reach that shit, but I can't expect it to be just fucking cake. And I also can't expect it that it's like how a lot of people are, where they're like, "Oh no, like I know I'll get there." And it's like,
crazy, yeah. You hear people say that same fucking story when you talk to them. I'm gonna get there eventually. I'm gonna get there eventually. When the fuck is eventually? Eventually is too late. Get there right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sacrifice. I remember I was in a little talk, and I heard somebody say like the only thing that separates you from greatness is sacrifice, and it's true. Like, shit, how much you willing to sacrifice? Like, do you really need those new pair of shoes? Do you really need that gold chain right now? You know what I'm saying? For people that's trying to buy a house, man, like, do you really need that shit? Nah. You don't, man. You get that shit after. Invest in something that's going to make you rich at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I invest in a few shit, man. I ain't going to talk about it, but I invest in a few shits, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
It's like the fundamental of like what so much shit is based off of. Like when I started working at the place that I'm working at right now, and I started making good money for my age, like at 22, I started making like good money.
Yeah.
And people were just like, "Oh, like that's cool. Like you just work your hours and stuff like that." But I started off at like the bottom of the fucking barrel. Like I was a nobody there. I literally watched in the facility. They're like, "Yeah, if we need you at a place, we'll just point you to be there." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I know I have no significance right now."
Yeah.
And I worked my ass off for like the first 6 months. I was working like 80-hour weeks, like every single week. Like there was a stretch of time where I worked like 25 days, like in a row, working like 8 to 12 hours.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then now that I have this job and I'm in the position I am, and I'm a lot more comfortable. I don't have to worry too much about that stuff. I don't got to worry about like a bill coming or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it also doesn't mean that I'm satisfied.
Nah.
I'm far from. I'm already looking to the future. I'm like, cool. If I can make this money with 6 months of work, what can I do with a year of work?
True. Or you could also look at it like, if I could make this much money with this company in 6 months, how much can I make by myself?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And so that's why I'm real focused this year. I think this might be the sharpest I've ever been, and that's coming off of a year last year where I was probably the least disciplined, the least focused. I was a fucking shell of myself. It was almost I was pretty much fucking embarrassed to look at myself after the work that we had done the year prior. After all that stuff and it being such a high in my life, like that next year, 2022, was the exact opposite. Like I didn't realize I could feel this low.
I think we had a conversation about that. You know, I think it was like,
that's when you called me.
Yeah,
and that was the first time we talked in like a long time.
Yeah, and I think we're trying to evaluate the situation. Like, did we become worse this year? Did we become better this year? And I think last year I think I became worse. I really do. Like I really felt like it wasn't like I became worse as a person in my beliefs and my morals, but I feel like I became worse just from when I started. Like you know what I'm saying? Like being that motivational person to now. I don't even feel like I was a motivational person to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people always say, "Oh yeah, you inspire me" and all that shit. I don't care about none of that shit, man. To be real with you, like that shit doesn't bother me. That shit don't faze me. That shit don't shake me. Whatever, bro. Like if you feel like I'm motivational or I'm inspirational, shit, try to inspire me. You know what I'm saying? That's the best thing you could do for me instead of telling me. Like, don't always praise me and shit. Like I understand and I appreciate it, but like I really don't give a fuck about praise at the end of the day, because all that does is just. If you see somebody who falls into that category that gets praised all the time, bro, they become so content with that, they don't want to get better. Does that make sense? Like, they ain't looking for the next step, bro. Like, they're like, oh, I already accomplished this. There's nothing else for me to accomplish. And I hate when people do that shit, bro. That shit pisses me the fuck off. Like, nah, like, don't do that, bro. Like, stop praising me, man. Tell me what the fuck I'm doing wrong. Like, I appreciate that more because I come from that background. My pops, when I was playing sports since I was a little fucking kid, he never ever told me good game. He always told me everything I could do better. And that drove me to be better. You see what I'm saying? So don't do that with me. Like when people be hitting me up like, oh, like you're doing it big, you're doing this, you're doing, man, shut the fuck up, man. You go do it big too. Let me support you. You know what I mean? Like that's the worst thing you could do to somebody, bro, is to keep praising them for the same fucking shit. Like you keep praising me for the shit that I was doing a year and a half ago, and it's already been a year and a half later. Like what the fuck you praising me for? Who cares? That shit is the past, bro. I'm looking to the future. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep saying that shit on this motherfucking episode. Look to the future. Shit, not like Russell Wilson. But look to the future, though.
Fuck the Seahawks. You guys are fucking trash.
Here
You
we
guys
go.
are garbage.
Here we
Listen,
go.
Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. Nobody.
Yeah,
Even you
appreciate
guys
it.
didn't know. All right.
I
We
knew.
get it.
I knew.
He's. Oh, you fucking
We
knew.
didn't call back.
Your ass didn't write back.
We didn't call
Your
back.
ass didn't write a
We
fucking
didn't write
thing.
back none of that shit.
No.
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah, I'm sure we
Trash.
are trash. Yeah. Mhm.
Trash.
Yep.
Garbage.
Yeah, if you don't know,
Basura.
if you don't know this motherfucker's over here at Niner fan, bro. If he loses this next tomorrow, actually, right? You guys play tomorrow.
play tomorrow, I think,
Yeah,
at 3.
I hope you guys. I wish you guys the worst luck. Yeah. If y'all lose tomorrow, bro, we're in the same fucking shit. If you don't win the championship, you're in second place, just like everybody else. So, whatever.
That's okay. We're still in it.
Being in don't mean shit if you don't win it, though.
Yeah, but we got to look to the future, right?
Yeah, nah, yeah. There you go. Yeah, you did get me on that. I ain't gonna lie, that was some good shit. I ain't gonna lie, man. Keep preaching, bro. Some real shit right there, bro. You ain't lying about that shit, dog.
But no,
That's crazy.
You guys had a surprising season.
So did you guys.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep it real. Like, nobody thought we were gonna have that kind of season. Like, you know what I mean? So, I think I should be proud of my team, man. Shout out to the Seahawks, man, for real. They really did their thug dizzle, man. They did their Dougie.
Mm-hmm.
But stop talking shit about them though before we do fight on this episode.
I got a pool of strings back there. You want to relive some memories?
Nah, hell no, I'm cool, man. I'm cool, man. I don't do all that shit. I don't do all that other shit, man.
That's funny. Actually, yeah, because there's a handful of people that probably, are either new followers or stuff like that, which is
Yeah.
still, I hate saying that. I hate talking in that way of being like, oh, I have followers and fitness. Don't care. But for the people that don't know, like, I trained him. We won't go into all the details and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
facts.
We worked with each other
Yeah.
for, about a year?
Yeah, I'll say like about a year, yeah. About a year and some change. Let's say
A year and some change.
Yes, sir.
And that was probably one of the most like explosive years for myself and like my growth and understanding of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was definitely a hell of a year for you.
Yeah, I think that year that you're referring to is the time that I realized people actually pay attention to what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not trying to take credit for Never Settle, but I did come up with The Wolves Is Coming. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know if you would agree with that.
No,
Like,
I do.
And I think, like, just seeing so many fucking people saying that shit was ridiculous, bro. Like, I was like, man, maybe I should do a slogan, like start a company just making slogans for fucking companies and shit, man. Because that slogan, man, that shit still, I still see people saying that shit sometimes, and it's shocking because we haven't done anything for like a long time, bro. And it's just like, damn, bro, like that really resonated with them. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck?
I still get like tagged and stuff every once in a while, and I'll just see like either like the little wolf emoji or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
there was somebody that was at like a WWE or some shit like front row, and they had her sweater and beanie on.
So you swear to God?
Swear
though.
to God.
Wait a second.
I'll show you after that.
That's crazy, bro.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I think I understand 100% when you say you're not a motivational person and
Yeah.
you don't care about any of this stuff, which
Yeah.
that's fine. You don't have to care. That's not important. But I think it's one of those things where it's not in your control, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Some people, it's the same thing with like if you think about hood shit, like it's like little kids are gonna look up to people that are out doing stuff that they think is cool, whether that is like gangbang or doing like studying or stuff like that. It depends, but you're gonna look up to somebody, right?
Yeah,
You're gonna
facts,
see
facts,
them as an
facts.
inspiration.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think you shouldn't speak in past tense on that, but like the people regardless are going to look into like up to you for stuff. But I think at the end of the day, your goal isn't to fucking like lean into that and being like, what do the people think? Because then that will do the negative of whatever that situation is.
Yeah.
And it's more to be like, all right, you just keep doing, like, you set the standard for whatever the fuck you're doing. And you keep on holding that for what you want and what your goals are.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I feel like a lot of people fall in that trap where they start to get like, where they start to believe in their own hype.
Well, they start listening to the noise, and you know what I'm saying? I was trying to start a campaign that said, fuck the noise. Like, I didn't really care about none of that shit, and I feel like, you're right, this is a trap, bro. It's just getting so much praise and shit, you'll start to believe it. You know what I mean? Like, people start saying, hey, man, like, you're doing great, you're a millionaire. So many people start telling you that shit, you'll start to really believe you're a millionaire when you know damn well you ain't. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to prove it myself. The only person I'm trying to impress is that person in the motherfucking mirror. Like, I keep telling, like, that's the only person that can stop me. So, shit, every time I see that person in the mirror, I'll be like, you all right, kid? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just tell them, like, you're going to be all right today, man. It's a good motherfucking day to be beautiful, you know what I mean?
And that whole like conversation in the mirror thing has been like the number one thing that I focused on in the past, I don't know, like 6 months.
Yeah.
Because that shit's really true. Like, I'll be honest, like there was a lot of time last year where I stood in the fucking mirror. Like, whether it was like before, after taking a shower, whatever, like like you just stand there and you look and you really have that thought. You're like, A, you're like, I'm in this motherfucker. Like, I'm alive. That's a weird concept. Like,
Yeah.
But then secondly, you just kind of thinking about the things you're doing, the things you've done, like, and your brain just kind of goes into it.
Yeah. I feel you.
And I was like, every single time that I looked in the mirror, I'm just like, and it's always funny because people look at me and they're just like, well, you're in shape. Like, you're in shape compared to fucking most of the people that I know and all this other stuff. But I looked at myself and I'm just like, I fucking hate the way I look. I think I'm fat. I think I'm fucking like, I don't think like I don't look happy. I'm fucking tired. Like everything I like saw, I was just like, whether it was picking myself apart like physically from what I saw, and that led into more of just like what was actually going in the back of my head. It was just an easier thing to go at, or even looking at myself and being like, you're not fucking holding the own standard. Like the people think that you're this guy that's doing all this shit and you haven't. Like last year, there was a span where I didn't work out for like 4 or 5 months.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy. I wouldn't even even associate that with you. Like not working out for 4 or 5 months. That's crazy, bro.
I just like there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. But I would go into the gym and either be with somebody or training somebody or whatever the situation was.
Yeah.
And by the time that like it was done, I realized I was like, I didn't even fucking touch a weight. I've just been like coaching or just like showing.
Mm-hmm.
And the weird thing is like psychologically, I was really fucked, right? So bad headspace, really bad headspace.
Yeah.
And that translated into like the physical, like I had the most injuries that I've ever had in my life. I had the most like just nagging pains, like all this shit that like, trickled down. Like I've always had like knee pain and stuff like that from wrestling. I banged my knee on a hardwood floor with a fucking like 150 guy on top of me. Pause. And like
say that shit crazy.
And like, something like basketball when you fucking hit the court, like that shit doesn't just go away.
No,
like,
it doesn't.
That shit stays with you.
Yeah.
And some shoulder injuries and stuff like that. I still have some, but it's a lot more manageable now. But it was to the point where I went from benching like 250, like high 200s, to where I was struggling to put like 135 on the bar because it just was like fucking painful.
Damn, that's crazy.
But the weird part about that is like I kept telling myself, I was like, I'll just take time off and rest, which I even know for myself is bullshit. I would never tell you just go home and fucking rest. I'd give you a list of things to do.
It's just facts.
But I realized like after I got out of a lot of the negative things that were holding on to my head, it was like I woke up that morning and it was all gone.
It's crazy.
And it fucking blew me away how much I'm like, you can't hold on to that negative shit. You like it. I understand that fucking on the internet now, it's cool to be negative. Like I can't tell you how many times I scroll through my feed and it's like, oh, nobody loves me, nobody cares about me, like, oh, my life's hard and all this shit. But in reality, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like that's your responsibility.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's like the same thing. It's like I live with my parents. I'll say that loud and proud. I don't give a fuck if somebody wants to be like, oh, he lives with his parents. I was like, I don't pay rent. You do. Hey, fuck you. Like,
Go ahead. Keep preaching.
But it's like I live with my parents. I don't have to pay for rent right now.
Yeah.
And so all of that money right now, because I just finished school.
Congratulations on that shit. Yeah.
But like all the money that I have, I'm throwing at like my student loans and stuff. I'm just like I'm getting like putting it away. And I don't live a fucking lavish life off of the money I make. Like I could easily do like some crazy shit and be like, I'm gonna buy this and like buy a new car and all this stuff. But I constantly have that conversation with people. I was like, you see my car out there, the fucking 1999 Lincoln Town Car Cartier Edition. I fucking love that motherfucker.
Boys over here rolling in the shit. You see your grandma in the shit.
Just wait until I get that 5% tint. Like
that shit going. Throw some fouls on that shit, man.
But it's that whole thing where it's like, what you show on the outside isn't who you are on the inside. But if you're trying to show shit on the outside and it's not who you are on the inside, you're gonna crack.
But like that just goes into show you how society's now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people try to portray this image that they for sure ain't. Like, you know what I mean? Like you see people, like I think somebody was saying, you see people with the nicest sneakers and all that shit, but they don't got a car. Or you know what I mean? Or they're living in their fucking car or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they have like jewelry and shit, but they're living in their car. It's just like people think that image and shit like really defines who you are, bro. And it's not. I think like your inspiration, like it's kind of weird because like I said I don't like that shit, but like your inspiration towards people and like your motivation towards people is what defines you, right? Because at the end of the day, like when you die, bro, you ain't gonna be able to take all that shit with you, right? And I learned that shit the hard way, bro. Like all that shit that you don't work for, that shit don't matter when you die. You know what I mean? It's like what matters is like how you impacted somebody. You know what I mean? Because and it could be negative or positive. You know, I've been looking at stuff, and I've been thinking about like when it's my time to go out of this world, I don't want no motherfucking cell phones allowed in my funeral. Cause I feel like people just post that shit for social media. Like, oh, I'm here. Motherfucker, you're there to pay respect to me if you fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't there to take pictures and shit and take pictures of me in my casket. First of all, that's scary as hell. I'm gonna hunt the fuck out of you if you do that shit. But I'm saying though,
if you go before me, I'm 100% showing up in a Niners jersey.
I wouldn't expect nothing less. I want people to come to my funeral real. But what I'm trying to say is like, I don't want people to be taking pictures and shit, man. There ain't no time to do that shit, man. You're there to enjoy me, man. Hear stories about you ain't never heard about. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people who don't know about like stories about me and that my family knows and shit. Like, shit like that. That's what you're there for. You ain't there to fucking be, oh, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like holding up the shit. Like, I'm here. Like, you know what I mean? You ain't there to do that bullshit, bro. That shit weird as hell. That shit like for the birds to me, bro. For real. And I'm gonna keep it 100. That shit janky as hell. I'm gonna use the word janky again, bro. Oh God, on heaven and God, bro. That shit weird as hell.
I try to stress again. I don't know. I've noticed lately that there's been this weird thing, and whether you like to say it's coincidences or not, like I'll almost like have a conversation either with myself or with somebody, and the next day like it's like becomes super relevant. So the same thing is like this, where the reason why I wanted to call like this podcast, I wanted to change it from the Never Fucking Settle show. I'm like that. It served its purpose. It did its job, and it impacted a lot of people, regardless of the size. It still amazes me.
Yeah.
But with this one, it's like I wanted to call it like moments, simply because of that. Like there's so much shit in life, and with the person I went to the game with yesterday, we were talking back and forth, and one of the things we had talked about like a handful of weeks ago was just, okay, well, like what do you want in life, or like what do you want to do when I graduate? Right? They're like, oh, are you gonna have a party? You're gonna do this stuff? And I was like, that's cool. If I have a party, it's probably more gonna be for everybody else.
Facts.
Because for me, I don't care that much, and then you have to clean and do all this other bullshit, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I would much rather go and do something.
Facts.
Because I still have I hold that concept in my brain where I was like, I could be gone tomorrow. There's no guarantees. Tomorrow's not guaranteed.
The next hour ain't guaranteed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like fucking an asteroid can come and like knock both of us out right now.
Yeah, hope not though.
We'll be on the news. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, living legacy cemented and shit.
But it's like that understanding for me where I'm like, nothing's guaranteed. And there's been some people in my life that have been like, no, you can't think like that, and you have to always plan for the future, or be like, no, like things will work out in the future. Just like you just have to hope. And I'm like, I'm not. Listen, hope is important because it gives you a little bit of drive to go and do something, right?
True.
Like you have to hope to reach your dreams, and you also have to put in work ethic and all this other stuff. But I was like, but if there's shit I can do right now, and I'm simply just not either allowed to do it because somebody else is telling me not to, or like other people are trying to prevent me from doing it, that's not going to stop me.
Nah, hell no. It's not supposed to. Shit.
That's why it's like, I fucking on a whim pretty much went to Paris. Because I'm like, okay, I have an opportunity to do this. I'm just going to go. It's why I take solo vacations and stuff like that, or I'll just go on trips.
I remember you told me. I was like, hey, what you doing next week? I'm going to Paris. Like, what the fuck? Bro?
Yeah. It's like I will go and do things because I want to enjoy that moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if it's simple stuff. Like, there's stuff here. There's plenty of stuff here that's happened over the last month that's just been like the most at peace and really just present that I've ever been.
Yeah.
I even changed, like, like how your phones have like do not disturb?
Yeah.
You can customize them. Fucking greatest thing ever.
I didn't know that shit either.
You can customize them and all this other stuff. But I have one that's just called like be present. And so whenever I'm out doing something, I'll just put that on. That way I get no notification. I get nothing. If there's an emergency, somebody will call me multiple times, then it'll go through.
Yeah.
But then of course I have like my parents on there because
Yeah, obviously, bro. Yeah.
But it's like that's like such a big focus. It's like if you don't how did I say it? Oh, I said this is one of those moments. When I was talking to the person, I was like, this is one of those moments that I know I'm going to hold on to for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like if you think that way, you're going to enjoy a lot of life better. Rather than being like, oh, what can I get out of the situation? Or what can I get out of being with this person? Or what can I get out of doing this like one thing?
Yeah.
Like, of course, there's time to talk about business. But for the most part, it's like, even right now with you, it's like, this is going to be a moment that I'm going to like have with me for a fucking long time.
Yeah, for sure.
It just happens to be a thing that is going to be, shared on social media and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel you on that, bro. I feel like a lot of moments and shit. Like I think I had one the other day, honestly. Like I heard somebody, we were talking and shit. They said, hey man, they were like, do you know that the phone in your pocket had more technology than all NASA had when man landed on the moon?
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? First off, I don't feel like we landed on the moon first off. Let's keep it all the way 100. I think I was talking to my boy Rossi about that shit, man. I said, bruh, he was like, you think somebody landed on the moon? And I was all like, I don't know, bro, because like, why didn't the flag burn?
What?
Yeah, like, you know, the flag that they put up on this shit, why didn't it burn?
What do you mean?
Like, how did they know the material was going to last? Like, you never been in space, so how would you know the material was going to last when they got off the ship?
Well, they've been in space before. Just
No,
not the
but
moon.
like, I know the moon though. Like, how you know that wasn't going to burn though? Like, you dig what I'm saying?
You just pray, I guess.
That's
I
what,
don't know.
but you feel what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I was like, what the fuck? I don't feel like we landed on the moon for shit. I feel like that was a movie. You motherfucker just, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we did, bro. I don't know. I ain't never been to the moon, so I can't tell you.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't believe shit till shit happens, bro. But anyways, bro, it's just like when they say the Earth's flat. I don't know. Do I think it's flat? Maybe. Shit, I don't know. Shout out my boy Kyrie, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know shit. But I feel you're saying though. But like when they told us about that shit about the phone and shit, and they were just telling us all kinds of like motivational shit. Honestly, like, you know what I'm saying, like shit about like planning for the future and all that, and how to handle your money and stuff. That shit really resonated with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like I've done that my whole life, bro. Like I've always planned for the future, but I've always tried to enjoy the moment that I'm in right now, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to enjoy life for what it is, bro. Like everybody always asks me, like, why you never have a bad day? I woke up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to be mad about? I woke up, man. God gave me another chance, like, to, like, do something with my 24 hours. If I had 24 hours in a day, if it ain't the last day that I have, bro, God gave me something to do that shit with. So let me try to make something happen, Captain. You know what I mean?
It's like the sticker that's on my laptop, which is my favorite sticker in the world. You want to tell them what it says?
That shit says, don't be a pussy.
Exactly. But it's from this company called All American Roughneck. And one of the things they say is like, you don't have problems, you have more work to do. And I've pissed off a lot of people saying that, because people just think it's like, no, I have problems. They're like, I have these things. You don't understand. My life's hard. That I have these things to worry about. And it's like, and I try to tell people, I'm just like, okay, well, what is it? What is give me a problem and we'll figure out if there's a solution. If there's not a solution, you might very well have a problem. But if there is a solution and you're not willing to do the things to fix it, there's not a fucking problem. You can do something about it. Yeah. And the story that really resonates with me about them is that company, and why I put in an application to be one of their like sponsored athletes. So we'll see if that goes through. But
he's probably gonna get it. He gets everything he fucking applies for, honestly.
But he was explaining the story more, and he was talking about how like there's this little girl that I think she was like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And she got diagnosed with like brain cancer, right?
It's crazy sad.
And her family's not well off.
Yeah.
You know, for a surgery like that and like the procedures for that, not well off, didn't have the means and stuff like that. And he was talking about it, and you know, this dude owns like a multi-million-dollar company now, is a very established person. But he said like, he's like, all you fucking pussies that are saying that your life is hard because, oh, I got to wake up early and go to work. Like, oh, I have to go work out. Like, oh, like I don't get to do like these certain things, or I'm not on vacation all the time. All of you guys that are just complaining about that stuff, pretending that you have problems, it's like, you don't have a problem. You can solve that. Go fucking work your ass off. Go do something that enlightens you. Like, go do something that lights a fire in your ass. He's like, this little girl that's 10 years old, she's never going to get a driver's license. She's never going to go to prom. Her dad is crying because he's never going to be able to walk her little girl down the aisle. Her mom's crying because, yeah, God willing, yeah. God willing, yeah. He's like, those things, he's like, she's not going to have a regular fucking life. Now, what they did is they did a huge fundraiser, raised all the money for surgery, and the kid's in remission now, and they're getting better.
God willing, see. I feel that though. I feel what you're saying. No, that's not your problem is not a problem to a bigger problem, bro. That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't necessarily say like that's a problem when it comes to her. Mm-hmm. It's just the card she was dealt with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Her family obviously is gonna deal with how they want to deal. But you got to understand though, I have a different outlook on that because you know what I'm saying, a situation that I went through. I don't feel like it's a problem. I feel like it's just God willing, bro. You know, she was just the unfortunate one and the luck of the draw, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, is it a sad situation? By far, it's very, very sad. But the only person that could stop that and prevent that is God, if you believe in that. Mm-hmm. Or whatever you believe in. I'm not going to just say God because I don't want to seem like in a box, bro. Whatever you believe in, that's the higher power that you believe in. That's the only person that could solve that for you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and that's the only person that can solve any other problem that we go through in life is your higher power. Whatever you believe in. Now, me personally, I don't talk to God no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep that real. I told you I was gonna keep this raw and authentic, right? I don't talk to God no more, bro. Like when I pray, bro, I pray to my dad. Cause in a sense, bro, he ain't never let me down. You know what I'm saying? So, but whatever you believe in, bro, whatever your higher power is, bro, that's the only person that can solve your problems. I know we always say that we can, but you gotta look for a little bit of light and darkness, right? What I always say, bro, I say hell is just heaven in disguise, right? And that's the honest to God truth, bro. That's the honest to God truth. People always say, well, like, work harder and all that shit. Man, you can't work harder if you don't got no motivation. Because like I said, bro, people don't enjoy the process, bro. They just want to see the end goal. And that just goes for everything. You know, you don't want to see, I'm going to become a millionaire tomorrow. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. But they don't understand that you're going to spend hella money before you become a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? They just want to see the end goal, bro, so fast and shit. And if life was that easy, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, bro, if you know a motherfucking shortcut to get to $1 million fast, let me motherfucking know, bro. Shit, I'll buy that book. I'll buy all the audio books. I'll buy the whole fucking DVD, everything that they're selling, dog. Because, shit, let me know the fucking shortcut, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been trying to figure this out for a long fucking time. Now, I ain't saying I ain't there, but I ain't there. You know what I'm saying? I'll get real.
No, that's fucking perfect.
But you feel what I'm saying, though? This is all the higher power. It's all the higher power, bro. And I don't like, you know, and no offense to nobody just doing all this podcast shit or whatever, bro, because this is a podcast, or the people just be trying to give motivational speeches and shit online that people be buying into. I don't really believe all the shit they be saying. What the fuck is their problem? You know what I'm saying? Some of them just had something handed to them, and all they had to do was just carry the torch. What's their problem? You know what I'm saying? There's some one guy, he I forgot his name. I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want to disrespect him on your fucking platform, but somebody that we know be like sending me all his motivational videos and shit. I ain't gonna get motivated by him. His fucking family had a multi-million-dollar business before that shit. What the fuck was his problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna eat the name brand cereal or the one that comes in a bag? You know what I'm saying? That ain't no motherfucking problem to me. And I can't listen to that. I can't listen to that. I listen to people who really came from where I came from or had the same struggles that I came from. You know what I'm saying? Like, when one of my boys, one of somebody that I grew up with, when they buy a house or they buy a new car, that's the kind of stuff you're supposed to, like, gravitate towards because you could relate to that. You came from the same place that they came from. You know what I'm saying? Or like when one of my boys just became like a new dad. Like, if I have a kid, that's what I want to relate to. Because, you know what I'm saying? All of my homies, and I'm going to shout out to all my homies right now, bro. All of my boys and shit that I consider my family, they all are great dads to their kids. It's crazy, bro. Like, when I be hearing like, oh yeah, everybody's a dad. None of my boys, none of my homies, none of my circle, bro. They all are great dads to their kids. So shout out to you motherfuckers, bro. Y'all doing y'all motherfucking things with your kids, and I'm proud of y'all motherfuckers, bro. For real, for real. But on the side note, though, like, that's the kind of people I gravitate towards because I could relate to them. It's almost like when you're a kid, like you just said, when you're a kid in the neighborhood and you're going to listen to your teacher. How? They don't come from that same fucking neighborhood you came from. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't saying I had the hardest upbringing in the world, but I'm saying, though, like, I would rather listen to somebody who was in my neighborhood walking with me and shit and doing all the same shit that I was doing. I'd rather listen to somebody who survived that than by a teacher. Because obviously the teacher hasn't figured it out. They're still trying to figure out how to make me better. When that person, I could look at them and say, yo, what'd you do right? And they'll look at me and say, oh, I did this right. I'm gonna listen to them. It's automatic. It's like you just gave me a motherfucking key to life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or you see teachers and shit nowadays, bro, they don't care about their kids. And I'm just saying that. I know that for a fact. Because I'll be seeing teachers, bro, they don't give a fuck about their kids. They care about their paycheck. You think they give a fuck if that kid's gonna learn how to add and subtract?
No, that's a big problem with a lot of jobs, because I talk to a lot of people that are in industries like healthcare and education and stuff like that. I don't know how. We end up making a lot of friends.
Yeah,
that's how we are as people.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm thankful enough, and I think it goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning, where it's like, keep the circle close, make sure that people in your circle hold the fucking standard that you have for yourself and they have for them, and then you don't let them slide. Yeah. And because of that, I'm like, a lot of the people, you know, almost most of them, you know, all do the same thing, where it's like, I have an expectation for myself that it's like I'm providing stuff, but I'm also being pretty fucking transparent. Like, I feel like I try really hard on social media to be like, no, everything isn't okay all the time. And that's where a lot of like my artistic stuff comes out, where I make like the cool videos and stuff. But I just show people that it's like, it's not all fucking rainbows and sunshine.
It's not.
But if you're doing something, you better do it at the best of your ability. And you better do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
That's helping other people if you're in a position to help other people. If you're making, out doing stocks and shit like that, listen, it's cutthroat. You're after your fucking bag. We get it. We're not going to be like, that stockbroker doesn't care about the family. Like, they don't. We know that.
Yeah, go ahead.
But if you're a teacher and you're simply focused on clocking in and clocking out, like, I get it. People burn out. Stuff happens. But at the same time, it's like you have a responsibility when you're there.
Yeah.
You can't let the little kid that's fucking like 6 or 7 see you just like being passive aggressive and being like, oh, whatever. Especially letting a little kid, you're a lot better at working with a chip on your shoulder than I am. I'll 100% admit that. But for me, like, if I'm like 7 years old and a teacher told me this, like, no, you're never gonna be shit, like, that would fuck with me for a long time. And like that, I don't know, that shit bothers me a lot.
No, I feel you. I think teachers do that to kids too. You know what I mean? And I was just fortunate because my parents didn't graduate high school. You know what I'm saying? My mom she dropped out when she was a freshman, and my dad dropped out. And I seen how successful they were, just working hard and stuff. You know what I mean? That's what motivated me to work hard. And but shout out to my dad though. Before he did graduate, he did get his GED. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to that boy. But like, he showed us it was possible though. My parents showed me it was possible to be from a third world country because my parents aren't from here. My dad's from the Philippines and my mom was from El Salvador. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, to see somebody like that, like who come from different countries and didn't graduate and get their education to see the empire and the success that they built, it just showed me that fuck my teachers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean that with all due respect. Like, fuck all of them. Like, you could tell me what to do, bro, but like at the end of the day, bro, like I have motivation already. So like they already made it clear to me, what teachers should tell kids nowadays is it's not cool to be stupid. You know what I mean? Like a lot of teachers don't do that shit with kids. Like you see kids, you walk into a classroom, bro, and kids are just on their cell phones now and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't even pay attention to nothing. And it's scary because that's our future. That's the future. Like that's going to be my motherfucking future doctor or my future lawyer if I ever need some shit, or like, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I mean? But it just goes to show, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't practice what you don't, like you can't preach what you don't practice. You know what I mean? Like a lot of teachers be getting hella pissed at kids because kids is disrespectful and shit. They're telling teachers to fuck off and all that shit. Look how the teachers acting though. They ain't holding themselves to a higher standard. Teachers go in there, bro. I swear to God, they go like this. Open up your book, read page 1 through something, and just be on their phones the whole time. So if you're leading by example, bro, and the kids see you on your phone, what are they gonna do? Go on their motherfucking phones, bro. It's just the way it is, right?
It's one of the things that I've always said. I'm like, if you're in charge of people, which I've been in many positions where I've had to be in charge of people, and I like to think that I do a decent job.
Yeah, you do cool.
It's like you can't go into the understanding where even parents, like I've heard this from parents before, where they're like, don't do what I do what I say. And that's just not like, it's monkey see, monkey do. Like you get the habits of doing stuff. Like if somebody's growing up, if you're an adult and you have kids, right?
Yeah.
And you start to become overweight, you don't work out, you don't focus on doing stuff, and you're kind of just, checked out, there's ways to justify everything. You could, of course, saying like, I work long hours and I have this shit to do and these responsibilities. I get it. Life's hard sometimes. Like it is what it is. Not everybody has, like you said, sometimes you get dealt a bad deck and you have to roll with it.
Yeah.
But then the kids see it and they're like, oh, well, working out's kind of not important. Like I don't need to be healthy. Like I can eat whatever I want. And it's like, like making a connection with somebody isn't that like whatever. Or they go in the opposite end of that, where they start to think it's like, oh, I need to find something. And that can be equally as bad when you're fucking begging to have like attention or stuff like that.
True.
And that's why I don't know. It's just holding that standard is such an important thing for me. Because I know for a fact, I can feel it from the second I wake up if I'm not holding the standard for myself. If you just feel off, you feel weird, you don't feel like good. You're just like, oh. And the reality is that there's a vast majority of people that don't even have a standard set for themselves. They don't realize that they can set a standard. They're just simply living out wherever they are, and that's their standard.
Yeah.
Like they're passively having it. And I think that's, I don't know, that shit is what I'm trying to work against in the stuff that I'm doing. Because I feel like I've said this 1,000 times before. It's like, of course, people know me as like, oh my God, Daniel, he does these crazy races and he works out all the time and he does this stuff. I'm like, cool, that's great. If what you get from that is that you can do better, that's all that fucking matters.
True.
It's like, don't praise me and be like, oh, this is a dude that does all these crazy shit. I was like, you want to know how I got there? I saw a motherfucker do it on YouTube and I'm like, if he can do it, why can't I?
True.
And a year and a half later, I did it.
Yeah.
like that. That's how my brain works. And I want other people to be able to relate to that. It doesn't have to be extreme stuff.
Yeah.
But it can literally be like, I can save $100 here.
True. But like, let me ask you a question, right? Like when it comes to like trainers in this area, because obviously we know you're a trainer. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like you hold a standard higher than anybody out here? Because I could almost guarantee you do. Because like when people ask me, and let me tell you why, right? When people ask me, what should I look for in a trainer? I say, you should look for somebody who's killing themselves, because they can't tell you how to kill yourself if they haven't killed themselves when it comes to all this working out shit. Do you see what I'm saying? I see a lot of trainers nowadays who just like people sign up with them because they work at a fucking gym. Like, how is that going to get you better? You don't want better, obviously. Like, you only could be as good as the person that's leading you. So if the person that's leading you ain't trying to kill themselves and push themselves, for instance, if they were training with you during your Ironman training, if they see you killing themselves, bro, and they ain't doing the same shit or putting the same effort, it ain't gonna work, right? Because they want the easy way out. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to trainers and shit in this area, bro, I feel like you do hold yourself to the higher standard, because you're out here actually accomplishing shit that 99.9% of the trainers in this area, and I'm only saying that because the 0.1 is probably you, they can't do. You know what I'm saying? And I say, man, I take my hat off to you for that shit, bro, because you in a way, like, you should get, like, you're giving people hope, right? That's what it's about. It's about giving them hope, because like you said, if you could do it, I could do it, right? But like in a sense too, you're also giving them the other side of it, because they see the other side of it when you're pissed or when you can't do something. And let's say like right now, if I say to you right now, hey Dan, you can't run a mile in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I guarantee you, bro, when I leave here, you will do everything to run that fucking mile in 3 minutes, 30 seconds. You'll figure it out. Like, I need to take this step, this step, this step. And now what other trainer's gonna do that though? If I go to a fucking trainer who works at a fucking, let's just say, for instance, the IS place, right? I ain't gonna say their name because fuck them, they don't sponsor me. Like, if I go to a trainer in there and I say, hey, you guys can't run a mile in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, what are they gonna do? Laugh. That's it. Yeah. And then brush it off. You see what I'm saying?
I think you're one of the few people that's really been there when you've seen me like 1,000% locked in.
Yeah.
And it's still funny because, of course, at that point, my brain is like turned off. Like it's all just like instinctual, I guess.
Yeah, I feel you.
So you're talking from experience of that.
Yeah, no. Because I think in a way, I think that's why me and you, on an athletics perspective, I think me and you do respect each other. Because I don't push myself. I push myself to a degree that you do. It's just not on that higher level. Does that make sense? Like, I could, if you said to me, DC, bro, let's train for the Ironman right now, I'd probably go train with you right now. And I wouldn't have I don't think there's no shout in your fucking head. There's no doubt in your fucking head that I would accomplish that shit. I would at least finish the fucking race, right? Because what's my other option, bro? Dying. You know what I'm saying?
It's like when I said it when I was doing my Ironman, and there's like, I try not to talk about it a lot anymore because I try not to live in the past.
It's the past.
I'm like, it's the past. But the one thing that I pulled from it is, you know, of course, you learn a lot about yourself and shit like that. And I remember telling Fabian, I was like, it's either across the finish line or they take me in a fucking ambulance. Like, that was it.
That's it.
But that's the mentality.
Yeah. But like, don't you feel like that's what makes you different? Like, when people's looking for trainers in the area and shit, they should really be looking for you.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know who my competition is. That's
what the fuck I'm supposed to. That's what I like to hear, bro. Because I feel like you deserve that shit, bro. I feel like you change a lot of people's lives out here. You know what I'm saying? And I think you change a lot of people's perspective on like what is the definition of somebody who really kills themselves out here, bro. For real. And I mean that. You're doing that shit at a young ass age too, bro. So like I said, bro, my hats go off to you, bro. People got to give your motherfucking flowers like you give everybody else their flowers. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I tell like it. When people are, what do they say? They're just like, oh, if you can do something and you wouldn't get paid for it, but like everything's taken care of, stuff like that, what would it be? I would do what I'm doing now. Like we talked about, what we talked about before we started, where I said it's like, I have more and more people every month or so that are just coming to me and being like, I lost weight from just listening and watching the stuff that I do.
That's crazy.
I love coaching.
Yeah.
I love helping people. But there's just something that's like, that feels like perfect when it's like they didn't pay me money. I didn't like have to make them and be on their ass about stuff. Like something clicked from just watching my journey that made them take that responsibility and that initiative in their own life to make a change. That fucking blows my mind.
Yeah.
That's like if like a dream fucking for me.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So that's why I say it's like I don't want to be an influencer and be like, oh, buy my products and stuff like that. Like you fucking eat a dick. I don't care.
I don't want to be an influencer either, bro.
And that's why I hate when I talk about stuff and I'm just like, I don't want to say it like, oh, I have fans. And I don't want to say it like, oh, my followers. I'm like, there are people that watch the stuff that I do.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Yeah, I feel you.
And it's like, oh, cool. Did you actually get something out of it? That's what I try to emphasize. Like, if you got something of value, share. I'm not just saying like, oh, share. So many people say like, if you got something of value, there is a condition there that if I don't live on my end of the bargain, you don't owe me anything.
True.
And even if I do and you don't want to do it, you still don't owe me anything.
Yeah.
There's no expectation here.
Yeah.
And now I've had a handful of stuff that's gone like I have one video that's gotten like 50,000 views. To me, that's fucking mind blowing.
It is. That's a lot of people. Shit, goddamn.
And I'm just like, oh. But then I think about that. I was like, okay, let's funnel down. Maybe that changed like one or two people to be like, I'm gonna go do that thing that I've been talking about.
Yeah.
And then I got a message like a handful of months ago from a random girl that was just like, she took a screenshot of the podcast. She's like, this is my favorite podcast. Thank you.
Wow.
She didn't follow me. She didn't do anything. She just simply wanted to reach out and say, thank you.
That's crazy. Yeah, I feel you. I remember when we did our podcast, like I said, bro, a lot of people actually reached out to me and they were like, yo, that was crazy, like to see that different side of you because we didn't know that side of you. Mm-hmm. Fuck that side of me. Like, that side of me ain't shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they were just like, yo, it was a different thing because like we could hear the authentic in your guys' voices and shit. Like when you guys, because at the end of the day, bro, people don't know like me and you as friends. Like, you know, actually, you know my friend, bro, you're my brother at the end of the day, right? But like, they don't know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, I think people always realize, like, always ask them, like, damn, like they have like good chemistry, like when they're like with each other, you know, like we talk shit to each other every time we see each other, right? That's what brothers do though. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we always coming up with slogans and shit and talking about shit that don't mean shit or shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're always talking about something positive, whether it be on the PIMP shit or like, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I mean? But I'm saying though, it's always something positive, bro. It's always something about how to get better. Mm-hmm. We never talk about how to get worse, bro. And I think that's why my circle is the way it is right now, bro. Like I'm always talking about certain people, like how to get better in life. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the way that it's supposed to be. Because if you surround yourself with people who's negative and shit, who's jealous and shit, jealousy is what kills a fucking crew, right? I don't think I've ever in my life said fuck Daniel. I don't know. Has anybody ever told you that shit? Keep it real.
To my face, no.
No, I'm saying like I'm saying like I never talk shit about you. I've always praised you is what I'm trying to say. Like I've always said, damn, that's crazy. That motherfucker did that thing. That motherfucker did this. That motherfucker done moved that jet with his hands. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I always been like, damn, that shit crazy, bro. Like the fuck, bro. And I think it's always been vice versa. Like I've only heard praise from you. Like, you know, when I got the opportunity that I'm in right now, like the first, like you were one of the people, hey, congratulations, that's fucking sick. Like, you know, if you know Daniel, bro, that's what you be saying. That's fucking sick. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of his slogans, man. And he like that, you know, that's when you know he's like genuinely happy for you, bro. Oh, so if you ever accomplish something and you hear Daniel go, oh, that's cool. He didn't mean that shit, but when he goes, that's fucking sick. That's when you know, bro, like he really meant that shit, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, but he really hit me up. Like you're one of the first people that hit me up, man. Say congratulations and shit. And I know some people who are jealous of me right now, like, you know what I'm saying, who feel like I don't belong in that spot. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I look at it. Fuck them.
I just think that again, we'll wrap things up here in a minute, but it's like people will think whatever their thoughts are because of the way that they grew up, through the stuff they've been and all the everything, like their life experience, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, when it comes to like high level shit, it's only facts. True. Like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter if you're a fucking good storyteller or like any of that. When it comes to high level shit, yeah, there's only facts. True. Because you can't bullshit your way into being the position you are right now. I can't bullshit my way into being like what I'm doing now, especially online. Because I could definitely bullshit a lot of stuff, but it's like if my body doesn't look the certain way it does, if I don't perform the certain way it does, like if I'm just like, yeah, you guys have to go and do stuff, and I can't fucking do a push-up, yeah, the proof is right there, right?
Yeah, but to like almost wrap shit up with you, I think people need to realize this, right? No matter what the fuck you do in life, bro, you could do so much good shit, so much positive shit. You could reach so many goals. People that known you from back in the day is always going to focus on the negative shit that you did. You know what I'm saying? And that's a sad thing. Like you'll never get praise over the positive shit and the accomplishments that you've done. You always get praise on the negative shit, bro. Mm-hmm. And fuck those people, bro. keep living your motherfucking life, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, like I said, man, fuck them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Straight up, bro. And if you feel like your circle ain't what it is right now, you got to really reevaluate your circle, bro. Like, look around you and look at your top 10 people, man. If you had 10 people, if you're one of them fortunate people, because some people always say, oh, I had 3 people, I had this people. Man, like, fuck all them, man. Like, just like look at them and say, man, are they motivating me and getting me better in my space? You know what I'm saying? Are they showing me the ways that like if your boy calls you right now and says, hey, bro, I got this new job and I'm making like 6 figures now, what's the first thing that's gonna come through your head? Is it gonna be congratulations, I'm proud of you, dog? Or are you gonna be like, man, fuck that fool? Like, you know what I'm saying? But say congratulations on him, but like, you know what I mean? But like when you hang up that phone, man, fuck that fool. He didn't deserve that shit. Don't be that person, bro. Be that person that's always congratulating people. And another word of advice, bro, for all you motherfucking real estate agents that be hitting me up and shit and trying to tell me to buy a house, because all of a sudden everybody wants to be a fucking real estate agent out here, bro. For all you motherfuckers just trying to get me to buy a house, bro, you can't sell me no motherfucking house if you live in an apartment, man. This is DC motherfucking Supreme, and I'm out this motherfucker.